Hello everyone. Hi there. Hello. This is Virginia from Soul Talk, and this video I've been meaning to record it for a couple of days. I'm just out from my first VIPASSANA retreat like 10 days ago. And yeah, I see people recording videos about Vipassana straight away when they finish, and wow, I don't know how they were able to do it. It's been yeah, quite difficult to put words together, and only now I'm kind of ready to talk about it, to talk about this experience, that it has been really life-changing in many ways. I heard about Vipassana many years ago, and I was always thinking, okay, that's not for me. 10 days without talking, without your phone, without looking at anybody, just meditating, it's not for me. But I was still very curious. So I knew about it, I researched about it, but I was always like, no, thank you. No, that's not for me. And last December, somebody brought it back again, and I'm like, oh wow, that's exactly what I need. Something clicked, and I was like, oh yeah, silence. Yes, please. That's what I need. But to be honest, I didn't really know exactly what I was getting into. And perhaps if I would have known, I would have gone. That's the truth. Because it's so so hard that you cannot imagine what you're getting into. Um, the hardest part, I thought it was going to be the silence and the not being able to talk and not being able to speak to anybody, and that was actually the easiest part, I would say. It was not difficult at all. Um, of course, sometimes you want to talk, but that was not really the difficult part. The difficult part is the meditation itself and how intense this can be on your mind, and the mental stress that you go through during these 10 days is outrageous, is out of this world. Like, it's a roller coaster. It's a real roller coaster. I was thinking, okay, I heard so many people having these amazing experiences. I just want to go. It's like another meditation, adventure. And I've done other retreats before. I've done tantra retreats. I've done like beautiful things, and I'm into meditation, self-development, and spiritual journey, and I'm very always curious and eager to know about these things. And I've had amazing experiences before, and I realized that I was going, well, without really knowing what to expect, but I had some expectations on that regard, and I said, okay, it's gonna be something relaxing. Um, oh no, it was not relaxing at all. It's the hardest thing you will ever do, the hardest thing you will ever do. Not, you can't compare it to anything. I mean, things that you have done. I'm talking about things that you have done, not things that you have been through. But things that I've done, like moving countries, nothing can compare to how difficult this was. Like I said, the hardest thing I've ever done, probably the most beneficial thing I've ever done. The benefits of Vipassana are incredible. This is the most stable and long-lasting technique that you can acquire. This meditation technique goes to your subconscious mind. So it deals with things that you cannot deal with in any other meditation technique. It goes to the root of any issue that you have. I did all sort of meditation techniques. They help you to relax. Not all sorts. There are many, of course, in India. I haven't done them all. But I've tried many, what's available on the West. And but not on the West because I lived in Asia for the past 12 years. But anyway, I've been doing things that calm my mind, and yeah, you feel some sort of benefit in the moment, but then it doesn't last. Vipassana means to see things how they really are. So the technique itself talks about the two roots of human suffering. So they say that the human suffering comes either from aversion to something or craving something. So these two behaviors in life will create suffering. And if you start digging deep in your life, you understand that any kind of suffering comes from these two branches. So either you're craving something that you don't have, or you having aversion to something that you don't want to happen. So this is the basic of the technique, the philosophy behind the technique, and this is basically the technique that has been taught by the Buddha, and this technique has been kept in his purity. The teacher is called Goenka, so he passed away 3 years ago, so all the teachings are a recording, right? So you get to the meditation hall and you have this recording going over and over and over and over, and it teaches you the same thing over and over. So it's a complete brainwash, literally, but in the best way possible. So it's literally like you have a shower in your brain, and all the dirt is coming out nonstop. So it teaches you that observing your body and observing the sensations in your body, you are actually releasing any sort of negativity that you can have attached from years and years and years and years. And you don't need to be thinking about the negative emotions and the why you're feeling this way. I've been so many years focused on why I'm feeling this way, why I'm behaving this way. So with this technique, you only observe your body. All your emotions are stored in your body, in your physical body. So when you're observing your body without craving any particular sensation and without having any aversion to any discomfort that you're feeling, you are allowing that sensation in your body just to be and to be expressed, and you're not judging it. So in that observation without judgment, you are releasing that sensation and that feeling and that issue that's trapped in your body. So with this technique, that you cannot learn it outside of a Vipassana retreat. So I'm giving you a summary of what it is. But the only way to learn it is to go to a 10-day Vipassana retreat. So that's the only choice you have. There are no shortcuts. You just need to be there, learn the technique, connect the dots in your mind, and see how it works. After you finish the 10 days, you're still learning. I'm still digesting everything I've learned. I'm still putting the pieces together because it's such a simple technique and so complicated at the same time that it takes so long for you to really understand it. And it's something that you can only experience for yourself, and you have to experience it within your body. So while you're looking at your sensations, you're experiencing these sensations, and all the things that you probably learned and that you can understand in an intellectual level. When you start practicing, you're actually understanding at an experiential level, because you understand that any sensation, any sensation that arises in your body, it will pass. Things pass, and you're feeling a lot of discomfort, and then it passes. You observe it, and then it passes away. And this translated to day-to-day life, it tells you that any situation that you're in, no matter how bad it is, no matter how good it is going to pass. So you start having a balance in your mind, a balance in your day-to-day life, and you're learning to be equanimous. That's one of the teachings of Vipassana, to be equanimous. It's easy to be equanimous when everything is going great, but actually it's not, because when suddenly everything is going great, you have a craving for those kind of things that are going great in your life, and you start having fears of what if something goes wrong, and you have that aversion to things that can go wrong, and that generates all kind of stresses in your body that, of course, they are stressful, first of all, and all those minor thoughts that you're having, all those inputs that you're having from the outside constantly, they are creating sensations in your body, and they are creating stored emotions. So those stored emotions are the ones that later create a disease. Something is not at ease within your body. So suddenly you start connecting all the dots. I tell you, it's very hard. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, but it's the best thing that you can do for yourself. You will resist the technique when you're there. I was resisting the technique all the time. I was like, this is not possible. This is ridiculous. Why am I here? Why am I torturing myself? Why am I doing this? This is nonsense. This is like non-stop brainwash. And then you have these amazing moments. You have these moments full of bliss that you may have them, you may not. I had like a couple of times that I was like in a total high, a total bliss. And on the same day, I was like down there, like down the cliff, feeling terrible and so many things coming up. And your mind is so disconnected from everything. Like, you have no phone, you have no Facebook, you can't talk. So your mind is at a very, very, very quiet level. So all the subconscious stuff can come up and come up to the surface, and suddenly you can pay attention to them. And they will come up in dreams. Like, I had wild dreams, like every single night. Wild dreams of any sort. And what I was going to say is that those moments of like high and really low, those are actually the moments where you start realizing, oh yeah, like everything really passes. And when they tell you about the craving and the aversion, and I was like, hold on, but I am a Latin person. I am a Latin passionate woman. Like, how come you want to tame my cravings, my passion? And then you start thinking, all right, yes, I am this way, but was I really happy, like in so many occasions when I was just like going full on something. How was I treating myself? How I was probably getting like really hurt in so many occasions. So this really teaches you the importance of a balanced lifestyle and a balanced mind in every single minute. It makes you so alert and so aware of all the inputs that you receive or that you create. Small things like suddenly you see a person that you don't like, and you are like, oh yeah, I don't like that person for whatever, and you start judging. And this technique makes something sort of like in suddenly becomes a habit that you're aware all the time of your thought pattern and your reactions, and you are like, okay, well, I'm judging that person. Oh, okay, why am I doing that? Oh well, because it was a habit. And once you look at it, your mind observes that reaction you just had of not liking that person. Suddenly you're just like cooling down, and that sensation in your body gets released. Otherwise, that reaction would have translated into a headache, for example, or whatever sensation in your body. It doesn't matter. You don't need to relate sensation in your body with feeling of a situation, right? It doesn't matter. But for sure, all those repetitive habits and the sensation it creates in your body, everything gets stored, and it adds up, it adds up, it adds up. So being unconscious and being unaware of all these things that are happening in your body, it's so damaging. It's so damaging. When you are judging a person, the first victim is you, because it creates pain within yourself, first of all. And second of all, obviously, it affects on the outside world, you know? So the last few days of the retreat, you start learning how much love there is in this technique, how much love Goenka, the teacher, has for humanity, and how this technique really impacts humanity, because it's really your sanity, your sane in your mind, so you can create a better world outside for everybody else, for everybody whom you've come in contact with. So there is so much love and so much compassion, and you feel you've really done something beneficial for yourself. So you see changes during those 10 days already, for sure. Once you finish the retreat, you see lots of benefits already. And then it's a daily practice that you adopt. Maybe you think, okay, it's not for me. That's fine. And I was one of those. The last day I was like really good. Okay, yeah, this is great. And I had you have so many things that you cannot really speak. And then after a few days, like my body was really needing to meditate twice a day, like they ask you or they suggest you to do once you finish the retreat. So the retreat has like 10 hours of meditation a day that you can do them or not. Some of them are mandatory. And yeah, my body really needs to meditate this couple of days, and I'm so grateful to have this technique now in my life. It has helped me tremendously with something that I didn't even think about. I've had anxiety and panic attacks for many, many, many years in my life in different shapes, degrees. Yeah, and this technique really helps you with that in such a big amount. It's unbelievable, because when you have anxiety or when you have panic attacks or anything like that, your mind is sort of like distorting a moment, like you suddenly see danger, where there is no danger. So this helps you to bring back yourself to balance and really see things how they are, because you start observing those things in your body and you feel that, okay, suddenly you're having a moment of anxiety and panic or whatever, and you feel all those emotions within your body, and then 5 minutes later it's gone. So it passes by, so everything passes by, arises and passes by. And how do you remain equanimous to that flow, which is the flow of life, the flow of nature? That's how nature works. And I cannot recommend this enough. And I hope you do it. I hope you reach that moment where you feel you're ready. And yeah, if you have any question, let me know on the comments below. And I'm sending you much love and peace, and be happy.